Hey, what? That is episode 101 here, and holy crap, have we received such a nuclear bomb today. So, yeah, if you didn't know, the Thomas and Friends 1983 pilot came out today. Well, I'm hoping this will come out at the same time, the same day the pilot came out. But yeah, um, it just came out. It came as a huge surprise to me. I saw I only found out about it when the unlucky talk, bloody hell, made a community post about it, that it's not a drill, it's actually happening, and it was indeed happening. So yeah, obviously, such an important moment to not only the Thomas and Friends fandom, but also the Wasp Media fandom. Like this pilot was looked around for ages, and finally Mattel have come in and restored it. So that's a big tribute to, of course, the 80th anniversary, and also the unexpected but still um dedicatory to Brittlecroft. Obviously, I don't think no one expected her to pass away this year, or I guess at the end of last year, but you know what I mean. So I watched the pilot now, and I thought might as well give some quick thoughts on what I thought about it. So obviously, it's very different. Well, no, I don't know about very different, but it's different from the actual final product that was episode 25 of the of season 1. So yeah, I did do some notes while watching it for the second time. I did watch it 2 times. The first one is just I watched it with my dad, just to see my first reactions of it, and after that I watched it again so I could do some notes about it and point out some different stuff. So first of all, the music. So the music apparently was composed by Mike and Jr., but for this pilot, well, not the pilot, for this I don't know how to describe it, but the end credits said Mike and Jr. did the music, but I can only assume that it was only made to give more vibe, I guess, to this video, to this restoration, because pretty sure I heard somewhere else that Mike and Jr. did not make any scores or music for the pilot, which makes me believe that the original pilot had no music at all, which okay, it's interesting, I guess, but yeah, apparently the original pilot had I'm pretty sure the original pilot had no music or theme. It probably did have the sound effects, but probably didn't have any music, because I'm pretty sure this isn't the original. I think this music was just made for the release of this pilot. It wasn't actually from the original, but I still like it. I still really like this music. It's pretty similar to the actual, to the original music, normal music we know, but also at the same time different. But I like it. I think it has its own touch. Another thing I wrote: Ringo Starr not quite there yet. Yeah, you can tell this was Ringo Starr's first time narrating anything, or at least anything Thomas related. But yeah, you can tell he was not quite there yet as to narrate. He obviously needed way more practice, and he turned out being a pretty good narrator in the end. Personally, I prefer George Carlin than Alec Baldwin, and even sometimes Michael Andrews. But I still think Ringo Starr is a good narrator and suited Thomas for the first 2 seasons very well. So yeah, but you can see his improvement from this and say season 1 or season 2 of Thomas. So yeah. Now obviously, being the power, they weren't gonna get everything right. So especially the expressions in this pilot, they look very blanked. They were very blank expressions for me, especially hopefully I'll be popping some up in the screen. But yeah, it was some expressions just were pretty blank, and especially compared to their final ones, where you can see they very much improved them. The expressions, even though they're quite similar, but at the same time a bit different. Obviously, Thomas had a different whistle. I'm not surprised about that. They actually had a real whistle instead of like the whistle we all know and love, but that was to be expected. Not gonna lie. Now, something I think that something that the pilot I think did do better than the actual finalized episode, was I think the accident of the pilot was actually better than the one from the finalized episode, because the finalized episode, we just see Thomas going forwards and he just falls. That's it. Just like that. But in the pilot, but here, you can see the ground underneath Thomas start to go away until Thomas just falls in the gap and he cannot get out. I think that's better than the finalized episode. I really like that. I like how you can see the ground breaking beneath Thomas. I don't know, it just gives it's just those little things that do it for me in the long run. So yeah. Another cutout scene, I guess you can say, from the pilot episode that's different from the finalized episode is Thomas's out. When Thomas and Gordon and Thomas say, or what am I speaking? When Gordon says to Thomas, "Let's form an alliance," Thomas goes, "Owie, that thing or whatever." You know, of course, Thomas being a lot more naive in his younger years, he doesn't know what an alliance is. Actually, that actually kind of sounds something that later series Percy would say. Ali, ali, what's an alliance? Something like that. But yeah, it sounds just another thing I thought could have been in the finalized episode. I actually like that line, just with Thomas's naiveness and youngness, I guess, in the early days of when that episode took part of. And obviously, as we said in the beginning, the small dedicatory to Britt Allcroft at the end of the video. I watched it on YouTube, so on the YouTube channel. So yeah, the small dedicatory there is to Thomas or to her in at the very end of the video. I thought that was a cute touch, even if it's just text. It's still nice they gave her a dedicatory. So yeah, that was again, I was not expecting this at all. It's surreal, honestly, to finally get to see the pilot that we've all wanted to see for years. So yeah, I'm very buzzing with that, and it's nice to see how the show has improved. Well, I guess the model series, how the model series improved from this first attempt. So yeah, it's very nice to see, and it's incredible that a show like Thomas has lasted this that long. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching my thoughts on the pilot, and yeah, see you next time. Bye.